This is a revised version of a 2017 webcast by Santos Bonacci. In this program, he shows how to recognize the physical traits of the sun signs. Here, he is joined by a group that reads segments from the book Dance of the Zodiac. In this edition, illustrations and photos from the author's collection were added to clarify the content.
What I'm going to do today is we're going to learn how to tell by looking at the face of the individual to see if we can ascertain the sun sign. Certain features are consistent for each sun sign, okay, and the ascendant. So here's a little trick. People who are born during the day, their sun sign is bolder. Now, I was born during the day, 5:40 in the afternoon. Therefore, my Aryan features, March the 24th, will stand out, and you'll see that as we look at the pictures and photographs in today's presentation. Those that were born at night, the sun is weaker, the sun sign is debilitated, okay? The moon comes out a little bit stronger, but most definitely the earth sign, which I call the ascendant, or the rising sign, which I call the earth sign. Okay, so you hear people saying, well, what's your rising sign, or what's your ascendant? And that is determined by the time of birth. And so, but that to me is the body, the earth, the earthy parts. And so your skeletal structure, a lot of your physiology comes out in the ascendant, and more so for the nocturnals, those that were born at night. So anything after sunset and before sunrise, your ascendant will be more prominent. This is why sometimes it's very hard to pick the sign, especially of the nocturnals. The diurnals are very easy because the sun is strong during the day and it comes out more. But the sun, even though it does give you your look, it is more of a spiritual energy than the earth sign, the rising sign, the ascendant sign. So I've given that 3 names. I'd like for you to get familiar with that, but also to know that it's the earth sign. It's the earth of your body. Your body comes through the ascendant sign. So we're going to learn this today. We're not going to be so much focusing on the moon. The moon doesn't really come through as much. It's much more difficult to detect the moon. You can really only detect the moon in the reactions of people. So a Taurian, someone who has a Taurus moon, their reaction is very steadfast, solid. Someone has a Taurus moon, on the other hand, fiery and aggressive and emotional. They engage their emotions like fire. Aryans, combative. Libran moons, argumentative. They're the judges, they're the lawyers. Oh, like a Lisa Simpson against her daddy Homer, like, oh, she got me with words. Those are your Librans. Geminis are like that too, very quick. And you can tell Gemini moons, sometimes they get stuck in 2 minds and they're like, it's like 3 minutes before they respond, and other times it's so quick-witted. So the moon, we're going to not focus so much on that. We're looking for the sun sign today, and mixed with the ascendant sign. And so here is the science of the wave, guys, and this is how the energies work. Although I've based all my stuff on the heliocentric model in my astro-theological presentation, the sine wave does that. Going to bring the sine wave around on itself. For ease, we put in the solstices. Okay, I don't really need to stop and explain all this. I want to move forward and get onto the presentation. I'm just doing this so that you can understand the energies that are generating the different 12 tribes of Israel. Aries, Gemini, Taurus, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. And so all of this generates the 12 signs of the Zodiac, the 12 tribes of Israel, and you belong to one of those tribes by virtue of your sun sign, your star sign. And the sun sign really denotes your house, the house that you belong to. What spiritual house do you belong to? It's spiritual. The sun is spiritual. The sun is spiritual. Not that any of the others are not spiritual, but the sun reaches the highest of the archetypes and the lowest. The sun encompasses everything in your chart. You can basically ascertain a whole story of your chart by looking at the sun and the degree that it is on the ecliptic and in your sign. And then all the other planets tell you this, that, and the other. And so the sun is the spirit soul. Soul is Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun. And it's the soul that you have in you, for you are an animus, an anima, animal, and a soul, animated. And so this is what animates you. It's the sun. We are blessed to have this science in its most advanced form in the modern age now. We have many books, we have many resources and much literature. And today's book, because I'm going to be using my PDF version, I'm not going to be working out of the book like I did last time. Folks, you can get, if you go to my website, you can go to William Schreib's website and get this book very, very well priced. And I recommend it as the best book on the planet for understanding astrology. Okay? You're not going to learn how to necessarily read the chart. You're not going to be learning about anything like horary astrology or mundane astrology or chart reading or those kind of things. But what you are going to learn is how the ecliptic, the sine wave, affects you and everyone else. And you'll be able to use your eye and your eyes, dualistic, and your eye, unity, to be able to detect the signs. And you'll do it in such a way. Some of the people that write back to me after watching some of my presentations where I use this book, and they've gone out and got the book, they come back to me and say they have about 90% success in picking people's signs. So here we go, guys. I'm going to share my screen. If there's any problem, well, you jump in, Summer, if you notice anything like the cursor or something like that. Can you see my cursor?
Absolutely. You're good.
Rightio. Here we go. So who have we got here now? But anyway, look, there's Hugh Hefner. There's clearly the Aryan ram there. There's no mistake about Hugh Hefner. Eddie Murphy here, more so his energy and Alec Baldwin there, they truly have that Aryan energy. It's angular energy, you know. I find that when I'm near an Aryan, I can feel that magnetism. It's some jagged sort of a iron rock. You'll see iron here. These people are martial, Mars, action, fire in the eyes, redness. A lot of redheads come from Mars. Redheads are usually from Scorpio or Mars, or they have a strong Scorpio or a strong Mars. They can be anything else, Aquarian, Libran, but if their Mars is rising or in one of the angles, the 10th house, get familiar with the angles, guys, because when a planet is in the angles, it really defines the chart. So if Mars is in the 1st house, the ascendant, or in the 10th house, the MC, the midheaven, or in the 7th house, opposite the ascendant, called the DC, the descendant, opposite the MC, the 4th house, these planets, they add their flavour. So if Mars is in one of those, I found that a lot of redheads have this kind of combination, Mars in a very prominent place. All right, can you name some of those people there from left to right? Anyone who knows those folks, just so that we can progress?
Well, that's Spock up at the top left. That is I don't know his name, but he's on those commercials.
We've got Leonard Nimoy and, of course, you know, William Shatner, the man.
Yeah. That's who he is.
Yeah.
William Shatner, yeah. I don't know that actress. That's Celine Dion next to her. Reba McEntire. Under Reba is Eddie Murphy. Alec Baldwin, I believe, right next to him.
Yep.
Sarah Jessica Parker right next to him, and then Hugh Hefner. Gosh, you can totally see it in his eyebrows. Wow. And then I don't know the guy next to him, actually.
So what you've got there is all your Arians, you see, and obviously there's going to be a difference in ascendants. Clearly the sun sign comes through. Some of these people are born at night, so they are nocturnals, and some of them are born at day, but always the sun sign comes through. So it never fails. Sometimes it's weak, and sometimes the moon is prominent, depending on where the moon is. If the moon's in an angle, 1st house, 4th house, 7th house, 10th house, or she's aspecting with the sun, full moon, opposition, or conjunction, new moon, or quarter moon on a square, she also tends to put her, little bits in. But always the sun is the prominent one. I'll get you to read that if you can. Physical traits. Start from the very top here and read all down to the purple there.
All signs rule a part of the body, and this rulership changes body language and personality traits. Aries rules the head, so all of their force seems to emanate from the head. The rest of the body follows behind as the head leads the forward charge. The huge Aries head suggests lines and bone structure which resembles the physical traits of a ram. The photos of Aries, James Woods, show us how the face takes on its convex structure. From the recessed chin, the bone structure stretches forward as the flesh wraps the mouth with sharp, muscular folds. Highly placed above the wide upper lip plate is the long and pointed snout. Note the dented membranes just above the nostrils. Upside from this prominent nose, the eyes, brows, and forehead sweep to the back to create the ram's highly convex face. Also, watch for the sheep-like eyes and the arched mottled plate on the forehead. On top of the ram's head lies the reddish double-crowned tufts of the hair, which mock the shape of the sheep horns.
Okay, you can see that in Hugh Hefner. You can see that in Alec Baldwin, Celine Dion. Okay, the convex face is here, typified here. So look at the ram. Look at the ram, the way its horns proceed from the top of the head, and you can see that in this Aryan picture here very, very clearly. This is the ram. They have very, very defined martial features. These people are, they appear to be combative, ready to fight. They have that look about them, and so the lamb's eye, unfailing. You'll see that all the time. The sheep-like eyes. The recessed chin, the bone structure stretches forward as the flesh wraps the mouth with sharp muscular folds. There you go. You can see that here. Okay, the double crown tufts of hair. The sheep-like eyes, you look for those. Although they are sheep-like, they do have a combative nature too. So they are the lamb and they are the wolf. This is where the canine is, folks. I learnt this from Thomas H. Burgoyne, that the canine is not missing from the Zodiac. It's in Aries, because where the sheep is, there is always the wolf. And so these people can be like wolves too. They can be fierce, combative, aggressive, and you don't want to get in their way, man, when they want to win that war. And they do win their wars. They don't lose. Aryans don't like to lose. They are number one. I am. And so they protect their amness, their isness, and they do that with all their hearts. And then again, they are the children of the Zodiac. They are the number one babies of the Zodiac. Careers often include fireman, of course, engineer, butcher, metal workers, and professional sportsmen, of course. But what you're looking for is that iron-like energy. It's Mars through and through. These people carry swords. They are warriors. All martial people, Scorpios and Capricorns and Arians alike. Those are the three signs of Mars. Mars exalts in Capricorn. Yeah, they have sword in hand, and they are fighters. They are combative. They are explosive in their energy and expansive at the same time. All the cardinal signs are signs of sacrifice, okay? The lamb is sacrificed. The goat is sacrificed. Libra, sign of sacrifice. These people give themselves in a more humane way because it's the mental air sign. Cancer is the same. It's the unicorn, the crab, the scarab, and these people sacrifice themselves in service. Okay, so you can see that energy. It's pretty clear there.
Cardinal Aries comes to a stop when the fixed sign of Taurus anchors all things in the earth.